Lions attacked a small herd of buffaloes searching for lush greenery in the dense thickets of shrubs and low trees. An enraged bull decided to use its almost five-fold mass advantage and resist the lioness. It lunged at the big cats, attempting to trample them. The bull pushed back the predators and began chasing them, but it was a mistake. The lionesses lured the bull into a trap. Behind the next bush, a young male lion was lying in wait. Although he still had a small mane, his strength already surpassed that of the females. The bull clearly didn't expect this. The lion attacked the buffalo from the side, clamped onto the prey, and with the help of the lionesses quickly brought down and finished the overly confident enemy. And today we will show you more cases where lions displayed their strength. There exists a myth that male lions don't hunt, but in reality, they're always eager to secure food if the opportunity arises. Lions have a large, very large mane, hindering camouflage and the use of their favorite ambush tactics. However, this experienced predator managed to utilize the bushes for inconspicuous approach to the prey. Then the lion launched an attack. His target was one of the most dangerous and robust antelopes in the world, the oryx. The antelope is characterized by a tough nature, fearlessness, and the ability to resist large predators. Its very long, straight horns act like spears. The antelope noticed the predator and aimed its horns precisely at its head. But the oryx underestimated the lion. The panther turned out to be much more agile. At the last moment before the strike, the predator dodged the antelope's horns and rammed into its side, putting all its mass into the blow. The lion knocked the opponent to the ground and seized its throat, and if it had been slower, the horns could have pierced its head or gouged its eyes. The courage of the predator deserves your respect. The oryx's horns are effective both in offense and defense. The stabbing strikes are dangerous as they can damage the opponent's internal organs. The considerable length always protecting the neck from attacks from above and behind. But the lion is aware of this and makes an unexpected maneuver. He gives up the advantageous position he found himself in immediately after the strike, as he couldn't reach the oryx's neck because of its horns. The lion allows the massive and powerful herbivore to be on top during their struggle. The panther finds itself on its back but seizes the enemy's throat from below. It's very risky since the oryx possesses considerable strength. The antelope attempts to fight back and trample the opponent, but the lion's grip is devastatingly strong. The oryx weakens, and the antelope falls. It's not the end yet. It struggles, but the lion doesn't miss its chance. To bring down such a beast, the combined efforts of 3 lionesses are usually required. Now the predator doesn't relax until the last moment and skillfully finishes off the enemy. Such mastery deserves your like, doesn't it? The lion noticed a young elephant on the water's edge and observed the herbivore with interest for a while, seemingly assessing. The elephant is still young, far from the size of an adult. A mature giant can weigh around 5 tons. This creature is unlikely to be heavier than a ton or a ton and a half. Yet even so, it is 4 to 6 times more massive than the lion. However, the elephant wrongly thought its size guaranteed safety. It should have called for help or run into the water. The lion dared a risky attack and leaped into the opponent. The enormous predator lunged onto the elephant's back, climbed on it like a living rock. The herbivorous creature is furious but helpless. It easily repels the lioness who tried to attack from the front. But then the elephant falls. Afterward, the lions immediately pounce on it and press it to the ground. The prey won't get up again. The lions reach for the hidden areas behind the ears, the trunk, and the growing tusks of the prey, compressing the trachea. Although finishing off such a large opponent is challenging and time-consuming, this enormous prey will sustain the pride for several days. If you think that an adult elephant is invulnerable to lions, then you're mistaken. Here, a pride of experienced predators tracks an entire herd of elephants. The herbivores move through dense thickets. They likely spot the predators, so they change direction and move away, searching for a place where it's easier to hold their defense. However, one of the elephants is too confident. It lags behind the herd, possibly hoping to scare the panthers away. Big mistake. Lionesses are quite massive predators, surpassing leopards in terms of weight. However, they are still cats, incredibly agile and nimble creatures. One of the lionesses climbs onto the elephant's back and literally rides it. She grabs the giant's mane with her fangs, and the huge predatory cat seems a bit lost against the backdrop of the giant herbivorous beast. It appears that having a lioness on its back doesn't bother the elephant at all or cause any discomfort. The elephants run around, dispersing the other huntresses, while their leader barely holds onto the enemy's back. This lioness clings with all her might, sinking her fangs and claws into the rough, tough skin of the opponent. It's an impressive battle where the elephant clearly has the advantage in strength. The predators avoid injuries but don't release the opponent from their grip. Meanwhile, the bite on the mane gradually takes its toll on the elephant. Slowly but steadily, it loses strength, moving slower and slower. The other huntresses realize it's their chance and pounce on him. Finally, the predatory cats bring down the opponent and manage to finish him off after a long and exhausting, yet effective battle. There are several subspecies of lions. The so-called Barbary lion is officially considered extinct as of now. It inhabited the territory of Africa, and while common lions prefer savannas, and especially the forests south of the Sahara, the Barbary lion preferred northern parts of the continent, specifically the mountains and deserts from Morocco to Egypt, north of the Sahara. It was the most massive and powerful lion that survived into our time, and the last wild Barbary lion was shot in 1922. However, according to various data, these lions are still kept in many zoos even now. They freely crossbreed with other subspecies, so scientists still need to determine if there are any purebred Barbary lions. But even if there are hybrids, some of them exhibit dominant features of the Barbary subspecies. Here, males of the common African lion and the Barbary lion meet in one enclosure, and you can see a significance between them. The Barbary lion is affectionate and begins to court a female who clearly appeals to the African lion. The enraged male decides to show the intruder who's the boss. But he underestimated his distant relative and confronted the wrong lion. Although the African lion impressively charged at the opponent, the Barbary lion withstood the impact and, thanks to its enormous mass, delivered a devastating counter. As you can see, the Barbary lion is generally darker. It has brownish-red fur, a denser dark mane that grows not only under the neck, but also covers the chest and even the elbows of the front legs. Thanks to this natural protection and immense strength, it made it clear to its rival that picking a fight was a bad idea. The Barbary lion is wounded. It limps as the opponent injured its hind leg. But even in this condition, the larger predator managed to corner the opponent, suppress resistance with a few strikes, and even painfully extend its claws into him. The African lion immediately cooled down, while the Barbary lion limped away. Hopefully, it will fully recover. The lion lies on the ground, but then leaps up and attacks the tiger. It's not a serious fight, but a playful, friendly boxing match. However, the tiger tries to resist the opponent. It might seem that the lion has the upper hand in size, but it's an illusion due to the large mane. The striped panther is more massive, delivering a series of lightning-fast strikes. Still, the lion keeps advancing and deflects the attacking impulses of the opponent. The tiger takes a few hits to the face. Notice that although the striped beast fought more actively, the lion skillfully dodged most of the opponent's blows with precision. The tiger's claws flashed right in front of the lion's nose, but it stood its ground, overwhelming the opponent and making it retreat. Size, skills, and strength allow lions to hunt animals that not only don't fear them, but also intimidate most other African predators. Here, an adult massive lion lunges at a hippopotamus. These dangerous beasts are notorious for their aggressive nature. Almost impenetrable skin, rounded bodies that defect the fangs and claws of carnivores, as well as incredibly powerful ramming attacks and wide, frightening jaws. This is a young hippo, but it's already more than twice the size of the predator. In such a ratio, a one-on-one battle should follow the rules of the giant. However, the hippo mistakenly underestimated the lion and turned its back on him. The male lion charged the hippopotamus and literally mounted it. The lion dug its claws into the back of the opponent. After an impressive but weak struggle, the lion managed to bring down even such a dangerous opponent. In the life of a lion pride, hierarchy plays a crucial role. It allows the pride to function effectively, with each predator knowing its role and place in the system, where it can efficiently use its own skills and experience. But sometimes disruptions occur. 4 young lions are having lunch here. These are teenagers with small manes. When they were cubs, their parents adored them. As they grew, the lionesses began teaching them to hunt and display patience. Now the teenagers have grown larger than the females and think everything will continue to belong to them. They're wrong. 2 powerful adult lions arrived for lunch. They demand submission and won't tolerate the impudence of the teenagers. The young males try to protect the meat from the leaders, but they don't realize that childhood is over. Now they are dealing not with a loving father and uncle, but enraged lions who take what rightfully belongs to them. The leaders drive away the teenagers, but they attempt to resist. Bad idea. Maybe the young lions are already stronger than the adult lionesses, but they are also far from mature males. The leaders easily scatter the 4 teenagers, and it seems the time has come for these 4 to be driven out in search of a new pride. Did this lion really abandon the hunt and decide to start his own garden? What is he doing? Digging? It turns out that the male noticed a hole in the tall grass and realized something delicious was hiding inside of it. Usually digging is associated with canines, which indeed excel at using their paws, but the lion right here also turned out to be a skilled tunnel builder. At the far end of the burrow's tunnel, a warthog is pressed against the wall, and the hog is quite large. If wild dogs were to have tried to reach it, it would easily fend them off, as only the small predator's muzzle could fit through the narrow passage. The hoofed animal did not expect such digging abilities from this massive lion. The lion couldn't even reach its paw through the narrow entrance of the burrow. So the enormous predator dug open an entrance. Then, like pulling a root vegetable, it pulled out the warthog. With no space to maneuver against such a powerful predator, the warthog was utterly helpless. The leopard decided to hunt in the lion's territory. The spotted predator relied on speed and agility. It quickly dealt with the hoofed animal and then, as usual, climbed a tall tree with its prey. The leopard thought enemies wouldn't reach him in there. Indeed, hyenas or wild dogs have no skill in climbing trees. Lions are too massive to attempt reaching the leopard in the canopy. Lionesses, comparable to leopards in mass and strength, would they dare to attack the spotted panther at such a height? Turns out they would dare. Don't underestimate lionesses, who are as firm in character and hatred for rivals and strangers as the males. With difficulty, after many attempts, one lioness successfully climbed the tree. An impressive fight commenced in the dense canopy. It looks pretty cinematic, doesn't it? Examining details is challenging due to the thick foliage, but the entire tree shakes from the exchange of fierce blows. Finally, the leopard and its prey fall. The lioness won't land as swiftly and painlessly, but it doesn't mean the spotted predator is now safe. A second lioness patiently waited below this whole time. She pounces on the leopard, already injured after her tree flight. The spotted panther manages to escape, but its kill is now in the lioness's possession. If there are two or more males as leaders in a pride, they don't really form monogamous pairs with lionesses and freely mate with different females. Here, a lion decided to have offspring with a lioness who usually mates with his brother. This is normal for this species, but not this time. The affectionate male didn't know what he was dealing with. His brother turned out to be a true jealous rival and attacked the intruder with incredible fury. He literally knocked down a lion, not much smaller than himself. The males started biting each other fiercely. The lioness observed the scene from the sidelines. No one has any complaints against her, and the lioness is simply curious to see just how this fight will end. There won't be any fatal consequences, as the survival of the pride depends on the health of its males. However, the jealous lion significantly battered his brother and comrade, delivering severe blows. At first, the betrayer defended himself, but the enraged jealous lion was way too powerful. Apparently, wounded pride played a role. He bit the opponent until the loser exposed his belly, admitting defeat. Finally, the guilty one surrendered, and peace is restored. But the affectionate lion will now know it's probably better not to get involved with his brother's beloved lioness. Something similar happened here. A young lion tried to establish a relationship with the lioness when the dominant male in the pride noticed. Interestingly enough, lionesses usually prefer lions with darker manes. Here, the female headed into the thickets, drawing the dominant male after her. However, the younger lion, attempting to get closer to her, interferes with the older brother. But he picked the wrong opponent. Thought his ally would pity him and give up the lioness? Not at all. As soon as the younger lion stood in the way of the dark-maned male, a fierce fight began. Lions didn't want to inflict serious injuries on each other, so they didn't go into a clinch and didn't try to tear each other's throats out. The fight was limited to a beautiful and spectacular exchange of impressive blows with their front paws. Each such strike could dent metal. In the end, the lion with the black mane gave a powerful resistance to his brother, struck him in the face several times, and headed after the lioness waiting for him. The fight didn't end there. The defeated lion didn't calm down and caught up with his brother again. The second round changed nothing. The furious male showed who's in charge and forced the younger one to retreat far away. For the protection of their offspring, many animals are capable of true feats. Mighty and brave buffaloes are particularly prone to defending their kind and, moreover, to selflessly save their offspring. This adult female right here weighs about half a ton or so. True, she has just given birth. It was a bad idea to move far from the herd for this, as the lioness has found her. They decided to attack. Surprisingly, but the enraged mother, just a few minutes after giving birth, puts up an impressive resistance to the predators. The calf can stand on its feet almost immediately after birth, but it certainly can't escape from the lioness by running. The hoofed animal can only hide from predators under one condition. Would the mother have to abandon the calf? Of course not. The female lunges at the lions and a dynamic and maneuverable battle begins. Lionesses try to knock the calf off its feet to quickly break its neck. The buffalo fiercely reacts to each attempt. She attacks the enemies, scatters them, pushes them away, and saves the calf several times at the very last moment. Therefore, the hoofed animal has to run, attacking one lioness and then another, constantly returning to her calf. However, the female doesn't understand the complexity of the situation she's in. The lionesses act too coordinated. One distracts attention, even ready to engage in close combat, just for the other to seize the calf. Several attempts by the lionesses fail. So they retreat and take turns in different roles in the hunting scheme. In the end, the calf is snatched right under the female buffalo's nose, who couldn't save the calf in the last moment. If the female buffalo thought her offspring was the main target for the predators, she really underestimated the strength of the lions. The calf is just a dessert. This will be the main role of the course. Although the enraged female, even with a lioness on her back, fends off the others and resists them, the situation worsens for her. A male lion arrives. He positions himself to settle the pride's lunch with one powerful strike. The male's mighty leap has devastating force. He grabs the buffalo, which is almost twice as heavy and massive, throws it off balance, and brings it down. In half a minute, the lion does what the four lionesses couldn't do before. The huntresses finished off the prey, while one of them brings back the calf she killed. Do you sympathize with the hoofed animals in this case? If so, consider that this double portion will sustain the pride for a long time, and the cubs of the predatory family will be very well fed. Which of today's scenarios where the lion demonstrated its immense strength impressed you the most? Let us know in the comments section, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see each other that way much more often.